Hello, dear students. BA second semester. The paper which we are doing is drama, and we did like 3 lectures. And today I have to start up with the lecture 4. The topics which will be covered are drama of ideas, poetic drama, and alienation effect. So, what is the drama of ideas? It could be the problem play also. It is also known as a problem play. So, a type of drama that was popularized by the Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen. Now, Ibsen and then Howe, Galsworthy, and the Glavin Barker were the chief exponent of this realistic drama of ideas. In problem plays, the situation faced by the protagonist is put forward by the author as a representative instance of a temporary social problem. Often, the dramatics manages by the use of character who speak for the author or by the evolution of the plot, or both. It could be both the things. Then to propose a solutions to the problems which is at odds with the pilfering's opinion. The issue may be the drastically inadequate autonomy, scope, and dignity allotted to women in the middle class 19th century. Which family? And the family was Henry Gibson's A Doll House, 1879, or The Morality of the Prostitutions, regards a typical product of the economic arrangement in a capitalist and society. So George Bernard Shaw, Mrs. Warren's Profession in 1898, or The Crisis in Racial and Ethnic Relations in the Present America in numerous current dramas and films. So, dear students, here you have to understand all the technical things which you never ever heard. Okay, so drama's ideas from where it has been came from where it has been derived, and this is also known as a problem play. And here all the typical words, how it has been started, who started, in which year it was being, what is the dramatics managers, issues of it, then from the 19th century family who were there, everything it is in detail. You people just have to read it very carefully and try to make your own notes so that you people just understand each and everything which is being described over here. So, drama of ideas or problem plays can also be compared with social conditions of England novels or industrial novels, simply for raising the projecting the issues that were deeply affecting the society. Drama of ideas pioneered by George Bernard Shaw and is a type of the discussion play in which the clash of ideas and title ideologies reveals the most acute problem of the social and personal morality. So, in a drama of ideas, there is a little actions but discussions. Characters are only vehicle of ideas. The conflict, which is essence of drama, is reached through the opposing ideas of different characters. The aim of drama of ideas is to educate people through entertainment. Arms and the Man is an excellent example of the drama of ideas. Okay, so just understand what is being telling away here. Here, very little happens except discussions. So, the plot is built up with the dynamic and the unconventional ideas regarding whatever it is. I don't know if something is missing regarding the love. And Shaw's criticized the romantic notions of war. Yes. So, the ideas regarding war and love. Here it is war and love. Shaw criticizes the romantic notions of war and love prevailing in the contemporary society. Unlike the conventional comedies, here characters are engaged in lengthy discussions and thus bring out ideas contrary to each other. To Shaw, drama was preeminently a medium for articulating his own ideas and philosophy. He punctuated the philosophy of life force when he sought to disseminate through his dramas. Thus, Shavian play are the vehicles for the transportations of ideas. However, the protagonized they may be, Shaw wanted to cast his ideas through discussions. So just understand that how the Shavian plays it is being the vehicle of the transport of ideas. Then mainly the discussion was being done by the Shaw and how it has been discussed out of the discussions in the play Arms of Man. Shaw break the ideals of love and war. Subtype of the modern problem play is a discussion play also. Okay, so in which the social issue is not incorporated in a plot expounded in the give and take of the substantive debate among the character. So Shaw's Get Married and Act 3 of his Man and Superman, also his book on Ibsen's play. The quintessence of Ibsenism's 11. In a specialized application, the term problem play is sometimes applied to the group of Shakespeare play also, and which is known as the bitter comedies, especially the Troilus and the Cressida, Measures for Measure, and All's Well, Too Well, which explore the ignorable aspect of human nature. So there are some technical name it is being given which are only means to learn and in which the resolutions of the plot seems that many readers to be problematic in that does not settle or solve except superficially the moral problem raised in the play. By extension, the term came to be applied also to other Shakespearean play which explore the dark side of the human nature or which seems to leave unresolved the issues that arise in the course of the action. So this was about the dramas of ideas, or you could also say the problem play, a discussion play, where everything is being told in a deeply just to make you people to understand. So please try to understand what is being said. Now we are moving to the next topic, and that is the poetic drama. So poetic drama in English literature is what? It's a verse drama and is any drama written as verse to be spoken. Another possible journal term is poetic drama. For a very long period, verse drama was a dominant form of drama in Europe and was also important in non-European cultures. Greek tragedy and Racine plays are written in verse, as it almost all of the Shakespearean drama. Ben Jonson, John Fletcher, and others like Goethe's Faust. Verse drama is particularly associated with the seriousness of tragedy, providing an artistic reason to write in this form, as well as the practical one that verse lines are easier for the actors to memorize exactly. So, in the second half of the 20th century, the verse drama fell almost completely out of fashion with the dramatics written in English. The plays of Christopher Fry, T.S. Eliot being possibly the end of a long traditions. Poetic drama is not merely a drama which is written in verse, because prose may also be its effective medium, and it is in fact the blending of the poetic and dramatic elements in a fruitful union. His poetry is an integral part of the play. Just try to understand each and every line is very specific, which is being explained over here. So, the integral part of the play, twinned with plot, character, and their interplay, not an element of isolated beauty or lyricism for its own sake. As in case with the splendid lyricism in some parts of Marlowe's Dr. Faustus, for example, at the same time, the dramatic element must be capable of sustaining the poet's grace and intensity. It means its themes and characters should be poetically convinced and should be larger than the average humanity and humdrums the monotony of daily life. The passion and the emotions permeating them should be naturally productive of the poetic expressions, calculated to lift the mind of the spectators above the sphere of our ordinary joys and the sorrows, and send the penetrating gaze of his inner vision far down below the surface of life to the very springs of human actions and human rights. So, moreover, the drama being so intimately bound up with the stage conditions and the historical skills, that is, the practitioner must combine mastery over the poetic resources with the real understanding of the particular needs and modes of the dramatic representation in the theatre. Here, there is nothing to be explained as such, because everything which is being given, it is given in a very simple form of English. So just try to understand by your own. That is why I am just making you people to read it down and making you mark out the important thing. The history of the poetic drama in England is littered with the frozen anatomies of poetic plays written by the distinguished poet of the 19th century, who failed to subordinate the poetry to the journal dramatic spirits and adapt the plays to the conditions and requirements of the stage. Now, the poetic drama reached its glorious peak in where? In Elizabethan England, when the general conditions of the society and richness of language combined with the whole nation's instable craving for the amusement and edifications with the writers' intimacy with the theatres to make the stage a national institution. So it is being declined and was being precipitated by the victory of the Puritan fanaticisms, which sounded its death knell. So when it was revived again in the Restoration era, the condition had changed, and the heroic tragedy in rhyming couplet was simple, the fury and the violence of its ghost. The sort of the artificial respiration was given to its blank verse tragedy, which followed, that however failed to sustain its life, and with one flash of life in Otway's varnish preserved, it gave up the ghost. The 19th century efforts by the great poet were splendid failures on the big commercial stage, for which the writers themselves were partly to blame, because they could not rise above the slavish imitation and adaptations of the Elizabethan works. The tragedy to the reoriented the poetic drama to change the conditions of society and the taste and sensibility of the spectators. This was the condition when the present century opened with the prospect of the great dramatic renaissance. Okay, so this is something very deeply historicized about the poetic dramas and everything. So just you people have to understand each line which is being given in a very simple form. It's nothing there to be explained much. The only thing that you people have to learn over here. In this poetic drama, everything is being given over here. So just try to understand in your own way. The next topic is the alienation effect. Now, what this alienation effect is the epic creator relationship. So, whatever it is being there, it's about the epic era. So, that is being there. So, just understand. The distancing effect, more commonly known earlier by John Wilty, 1964, translating the alienation effect. This is a point that you have to remember. And as the estrangement effect, German Wolfram Dungzix is a performing arts concept coined by the playwright Bertolt Brecht, and this Brecht used first the term in the essay on alienation effect in Chinese acting. So this effect was used in the Chinese acting first, which was being published in 1936. So here, which he described it in a play in such a way that the audience was hindered from simply identifying itself with the characters in the play. Okay, so this was something used in the theater's play, and this typical word alienation effect was used first in the Chinese, and it was a hindered, like they have just hided out from the simply identified itself with the character in the play. So the acceptance or the rejections of their actions and utterance was meant to take place on a conscious plan instead of as hitherto in the audience subconsciousness. The proper English translations of Wolfram Dungskirts is the matter of controversy. So the word is sometimes rendered as a deflammation effect, estrangement effect, distanciation, alienation effect, or distancing effect. So here is the term Wolfram Dungskirts. Now this is a matter which is the proper English translation. There is nothing. So it's a matter of the controversy. Now the word this is sometimes rendered as these many words which are being given over here. So this has caused some confusion of English scholars who confuse the German word Wolframdom and Entframdom. So according to the Brecht scholar Anthony Square, Brecht wanted to distinguish now what the distance or to the alienate his audience from the characters and the actions and by then of that. Render them observers who would not become involved in or to sympathize the emotionally or to empathize by identifying the individuals with the characters psychologically. Rather, he wanted the audience to understand intellectually the characters. So here it is very much deeply being described about this German word Wolfram which is being named with the various names, and the people over there is being confused because the characters is so much confusable. So then the brand scholar Anthony, he has described and told about this, that what it is being. So now, which is being the wrongdoing producing this dilemma exposed in his dramatic plots. By being thus the distance emotionally from the characters and the actions on stage, the audience could be able to reach such an intellectual level of understanding or intellectual empathy. In theory, while alienated emotionally from the actions and the characters, they would be empowered on an intellectual level both to analyze and perhaps even to try to change the world, which was Brad's social and political goal as a playwright and the driving force behind his dramaturgy. So, this was related to the alienation effect, which was basically used in the theater play while playing, doing a drama act. And the first it was affected, this effect was used in the Chinese acting, which was published in 1936. Okay, so everything it is being given in detail, just understand. So, dear students, that's all for today. The three topics are being discussed in a very short format just to make you people understand, so that you, before reading this drama, you must know that what is the drama of ideas, poetic dramas, or problematic plays, alienation effect. You must be aware of it. So that's all for today. Read it very thoroughly and try to understand the concept. Thank you, class.